Hey, May 17th, tomorrow's my birthday. We have Final Charger Challenge coming up. So coming up on Tuesday. We've already covered those of you who have not turned in Twttin quiz. Charger Challenge is now open. All you have to do is come talk to me after class, and then we can get you signed up for it if you're wanting to do it. Last one you'll ever have a chance. Again, those of you who have not turned in quiz, you have to go on and actually do it for me to grade it.
Yeah, Joshua.
And if you have done it, then I'm more than happy to grade it for you. Tomorrow and Friday will be the last ones. You can buy these next week. It's just that next week it has to be before or after class. Sorry, hiccup. Stop it. This is the last time I'm doing it during class for that.
No.
So, tomorrow, we are talking about end of book and giving you a chance to begin the test. Final test is not officially due until the last day of school, that next Thursday. If it is not turned in by this weekend, I put it in as a 0, but that is just a placeholder to remind you to do it. But if parents start yelling at you about it, I'm just giving you a heads up. It's because I have to give you a reminder to get it eventually turned in from there. Beyond that, I have changed what I plan on doing today from my original lesson plans. I'm not reading chapter 9 to you today. If you look at chapter 9 and you go to it, it's like on page 130, which is near the end of the book. I figured those of you who are reading it will just pack it into tomorrow's and have one big conversation all on that day. Those of you not reading it gives you more time to possibly get into it. So, plus, yesterday, watching kids try to follow along, even though they had no idea what was happening in the book, didn't seem like the best use of our time. So I'm going to do something different today, and I think it might be a better use of our time. I'm going to have a discussion, conversation with you guys, because I'd rather hear your opinions and see what you guys think and have you guys talk, rather than me read a book. I figure those of you who are reading the book, you're fine. I'm not going to, you'll be able to catch up. It won't be a major issue. Those of you not reading the book, this will probably be a better use of our time overall. Tomorrow I'll talk about big things in the book and we get a chance to go from there. If this doesn't work, that's fine. It just means I'll go back to reading with you guys today. But I figured I at least wanted to give you a chance to try conversation and see your opinions on things. So, 1. These are things that have just been in my head over the last week or so, and I'm curious to see your opinions and input on things. I trust your thinking. Even though I get into arguments with other teachers and adults at times about the fact that I think you guys are smarter than people give you credit for, I don't mean academic-wise, which some of you are, I just meant knowing what's going on around you in the world. Why is it you think I keep teaching? Why is it you think your other teachers keep teaching? And before you answer, let me explain why I say that. Knowing the fact that I deal with kids in class who routinely tell me I don't like reading, I don't like learning, I don't like doing all the things that you do in class. The fact that we have parents who come in and yell at us, and parents seem to be fairly anti-teacher, at least across the United States. The fact that we have government officials, politicians who are trying to legitimately get rid of teaching and are trying to push us towards either private schools that cost more money or online schools that are much cheaper. Why is it teachers, why is it I keep teaching? In your opinion? Jehovah.
I would think, as you, to make, hold us responsible for things that we do. But,
okay.
Other teachers probably like to make us smarter.
Alright. So you did not put me into the making you smarter category?
No.
I can take that.
Well, you do make us smarter.
No, it's not an attack on you. You realize it's the end of the year, so at this point you only have one more grade, and I can't, depending on how well you do on it, your opinion of making me mad is not going to impact it one way or the other. So you're not going to hurt my feelings. I'd much rather hear truth than have you guys try to butter it up in some way. Sebastian.
Well, you teach because you want to make us better people.
Okay. Sneaky iPad?
Huh?
I said sneaky iPad.
Dang, that's good.
Go ahead.
Why are you talking?
Anywho,
Uh-huh.
here's how I see it.
Yeah.
A lot of teachers, build us, academically. I feel as if you built us mentally and think of overcoming challenges.
Is that what you were going towards, Jehovah? Is there one that's better than the other?
No.
Not really, no.
Okay. I'm just curious to see from your guys' viewpoint if you see one being better than the other one where. So it's. Alright. Is it effective? Am I making you better people?
Yes.
Okay. Why? Not trying to attack, but I mean, if it's an actual. It's a legit question I ask that I ask myself at times is if what I'm doing is actually making you better people. And I ask that at the end of the year when I see kids not reading and disengaging and stuff like that. It makes me question why I do it. Riley?
Like, it makes us better people when, like, we don't turn something in and we take points. Because, like, say
Okay.
that in the future when you're with work and you don't turn something in, there's consequences.
Okay. So you see the benefit from it in that way?
Yeah.
Alright.
There's always consequences.
Ari?
I'd like to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
When I came to this class, I had I'm not really the kid that likes homework, let's just say that. When I came to this class, instead of saying like, if you don't do this and like, you're gonna get in trouble, what happened before for me is like, you don't do this and you get in trouble, but nothing really happened. So, or at least not really,
So there weren't true consequences?
not yet at least,
Okay.
it didn't feel like. And
Okay.
then when I came to your class, it felt like there was gonna be consequences. So I started doing my work.
Huh, okay. That makes sense to me. It's like, again, I just appreciate you guys telling me your opinions. That's what I think helps shape me and make me better. Alright. So then, since you guys brought this up, this is naturally where my thinking went too. From your viewpoint, why do you think I do things like making you stand? Or the negotiating as far as making you stand? Or the fact that I use, because I don't think you have a lot of teachers who probably do that. Or use Struggle Town. I know I'm the only teacher that uses behavior points. Or my kid who is in a hallway who I've been told by other teachers that they just kick a kid in the hallway, then close the door and forget about him. Whereas I try to keep the kid as engaged as I can with that particular kid. Sam?
I think you do it because it's like something that people like don't want to experience like multiple times.
Oh,
So like
okay.
they do like the thing of people like in the class.
So you say that, does it work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Because
for everybody, but like for some people.
Why did everyone look at me for like,
we're talking about you and trying to learn from our poor choices, and you turned around talking to Mrs. Butz's class while you're out there trying to be a better person.
I can't hear you at all.
Right, so do your work. Problem solved. Robert.
I just feel like your punishments can be like seen from like all like the students. So like if you're like, oh yeah, you have to go stand, like a lot of people are gonna like laugh or like say like ooh, and then you like be like embarrassed and you like learn from your mistake and try to avoid that.
Do people get embarrassed in here standing?
No,
No, like in the classroom, but like outside is different.
Yeah, but
Is it? Interesting.
You're
Okay.
standing outside, that's worse.
I
But
don't
like
think
sitting-
it works though.
I try to make it fun.
You only think it's embarrassing because of watching.
Yes. Like when you're an athlete and you get seen by like a coach,
Yeah.
you want to stay inside the classroom.
Yeah, they look at it differently.
They gonna.
I mean, but as they should, right? I mean, that
yeah.
you shouldn't be in the hallway. No attack against her. I was like, my goal, and with Mallory, I'd much rather have Mallory in classroom. But that's not my choice. Like this is, I laid down a consequence, I'm still waiting for it to be followed through. Like my choice would be having her in the room. But she's overriding my choice on that one. So I feel the same way with you guys. Jehovah?
So like in the situation, like I feel like you have like people in like Struggle Town, like outside, like standing up. I feel like you don't want them associated with the good people, but like you want them associated, but like not enforcing like their bad things on them.
Alright. Sebastian?
I was going to say the same thing as Robert. I was going to say the same thing as Robert.
Okay. The embarrassing while you're standing and stuff like that? Wesley?
Yeah, because I know Mallory, you've been out there for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're talking to Daru.
I'm not talking to Daru, she's talking to me.
Oh.
Oh my god,
So
same
you
thing,
just
Mallory.
Shut up.
Wesley, and then I'll talk about that.
I see it as, it's gonna be, coming back up in, like, one way or another. Like, it may not be called Stroll Town or B Points.
Gotcha.
You know it's gonna be.
So, like, by it, you mean like consequences for your choices?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So then,
The circle. You said make it a small circle.
I mean, yes, I
Exactly.
do vary the size of circle depending on overall grumpiness that might be connected to it at times. I figure all you have to do is fit your feet inside of the circle, so it should help. So yeah, like the circle thing is new-ish. I've only been doing that for the last couple of years, and that was because one day I found a piece of chalk and then realized I could draw on the ground and it would disappear the next day. And I was like, ooh. When I had kids who kept standing and wandering, I was like, ooh, if I draw them like a little boundary. And it was an interesting way of learning from
It's
it.
like the girl from Inside
like a
Out,
dream
like
come true.
Sadness.
Uh-huh.
When she
No, it's
has
like the
the same-
circle from SpongeBob.
What's the biggest circle ever?
Mr. Will, yeah.
The like the one thing the episode they had, and they had the one person that'll come.
I don't watch SpongeBob.
Oh, it's too bad. It's a good show.
Your chocolate.
So, then, with what you guys are saying, do you see this as being effective? The way I do things?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then,
It depends on the person.
how so?
Because
some
there's,
people
like
wouldn't care.
people that'll learn, like they'll like go out there so they can like interact with other people.
Correct, which I'm aware of, and that I'm not necessarily as dumb as kids might think I am at times, and part of that is my balance in my head between sending kid out there and knowing that they're interacting, which I know is what's happening right now. But part of that is I want there to be a consequence for choices made, and I fear sometimes that there are not consequences at home, so I want consequences to happen here, so we understand there's a connection. And then the other part of it is balancing the disruption to other kids versus putting them in a hallway. And so that becomes part, which is why I don't always send. Some people have a brother who may like to go out to the hallway at times just to try and be a distraction, and I find other ways to torment that person by putting them in a corner, which takes away all of their joy. And so I find different ways of interacting with different kids. Joe.
I feel like, yeah, like, I don't know, it's like what Sam said. I feel like some people, like, don't care. Like, say, not saying he does, but, like, Michael and Justice, they probably, like, don't care as much.
Actually, talking to both of them today, I brought them up during this conversation I had with them about how much better they are than the beginning of the year. And I told Michael to his face when he was sitting here in class, like, he behaves for me. I've not yelled at Michael in a month. Where
You should see him in third period. Oh my gosh,
You should
he's
see
smelling.
him walk.
I know, and
Or
that's
sixth period.
what I'm aware of. But like in my class, he went from being disruptive to fitting in and being fine. And like it's not been an issue in forever. Like that's what I compliment on is the fact that I know he can do it. Same thing with your brother. I love Juju, but he is an absolute distraction at times. But he has gotten so much better over the course of this year about learning how those balances work. And I'm really glad both Michael and Juju were in my class because I think I don't think they would have progressed as well this year without having my personality to interact with.
Yeah, because some teachers, they don't care. They do care, but like, they don't care at the same time what you do.
Like Miss Melanie, the
Some
only thing she does is put him in the seat next to her desk. Like she doesn't do anything
Oh
like
yeah, that's what she
prevent
does.
him.
Yeah.
She just puts him close to him, and he still does the same stuff. Like he's still distracted.
She doesn't even pay attention at most times. She just looks at her
Oh yeah,
grades.
she's always on.
Yeah, she's always
Yeah.
on. Like you could cheat on tests.
Yeah.
Right, like she was.
No, not saying we do though.
No, yeah.
Y'all admitted to this on YouTube. That's
Oh,
crazy.
hold on,
Personally,
No,
I
oh, I forgot we were on YouTube.
yeah,
I
y'all
YouTube.
crazy.
She doesn't.
You're definitely caught in 1K.
Chris Cornell is
It's an old phone. I don't have
We
4K.
didn't say we
No,
cheated.
yeah.
We said we could.
Huh. Okay, then here's my next question for you. If you think this works and is effective, why do you don't think other teachers do it?
Because they don't think it's like
No,
good.
because they want to suspend. Yeah,
They don't think it's
Boston.
professional.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
If you don't mind expanding, how so?
Well, I mean, behavior points, they kind of use that in kindergarten.
Okay.
I was gonna say it seems kind of childish.
Okay. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. And so you think that could be a reason? I can see that. Sam?
I think it's because some teachers just don't want to deal with the
They're
kids.
lazy.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not that they're lazy. It's like, imagine how Michael was at the start of the year. Like, imagine having to deal with that every day.
I
I
think
feel
you
like
feel like
teachers
bad
wanna
kids
have
with those teachers have those teachers have just gotten used to it in a way. Like they're so used to it that it's just like, I'm not gonna try and do anything anymore, because nothing's gonna change.
All right.
I would.
Riley, you know.
I changed my mind.
Okay. Jehovah?
Like, okay, so like I don't know what the Sam was saying. So like they like sometimes like they want they want to get rid of the kids, so like they like write them up or like write a referral for them, so like ISR or like suspension or something like that. There's one about the classroom.
And it's like, I don't think I've given a
Yeah.
single referral this year.
Yeah, but
You
like
can-
with you, you know, you send us like to the corner of the room or outside or stand up.
I am definitely much more of, I prefer to handle behavior issues myself as opposed to handing them off to others. I don't think there's many kids that I can't interact with and find a way to help them. Ari?
I'd like to say, through this year, I've seen that a lot of teachers, after a while of teaching, they'll just get bored of all of the kids, like being annoying or talking or whatever, and so they just won't act on it as much and won't care as much. But you have cared and acted on it the whole year throughout.
So you mean like over the course of a year, not like over a course of like a teacher's teaching lifetime? Not like as teachers get older they stop caring. You just mean over the course of like from August to May,
Yeah.
they get burnt out. Gotcha. I wasn't sure if that was like just an old teacher thing or just every teacher as the year goes along, kids wear them down. And I would agree. I think that's probably legit that you guys can be exhausting. I was gonna say at times, but all the time.
I made both my teachers
Yeah, all
last year
the time.
quit. Like my class did.
Oh, both my
Yes,
classes
you've told me that
did.
story before.
I was bad.
My teachers sucked last year.
Sebastian.
On YouTube is crazy.
They did. I'm not gonna deny it. Miss Aubrey can vouch for me. Miss Thompson sucked.
On YouTube is crazy. She
I
might be
don't
watching.
care.
I mean,
She can watch it.
I'll
She
send
knows.
this to her daughter.
Oh my
Sebastian.
God!
I'll
Stop.
send this.
So
Not Caroline.
Jack Longest, Miss Hartzell gives Michael and,
What?
Miss Hartzell gives Michael a lot of, refers to the redirection room.
I know.
What's the redirection room?
ISR.
Oh.
It's where you have like it's the in-school detention room, and so yeah.
My first period took me down there.
Did you need
She likes
redirecting?
me
No.
dramatically.
We were taking ILR.
Carter.
It's kind of like growing onto that.
Mhm.
I feel like teachers, they send kids down to the principal's office because they don't want to like deal with it, and like, but with you, you like deal with it yourself, like take away B points and stuff.
And you feel it's effective the way I do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Mallory, did you have a question, dear?
Yes, I have a question.
What's up?
If I don't do my detention, why will you make me be with you on field day?
No.
Oh,
You don't want that.
I'm good.
She's fine.
Are you gonna make her? What are you gonna make her do?
Yeah.
Well, it's adorable that she feels she doesn't have to do the detention, so,
She's gonna do it anyway.
so it's nothing. Don't worry about it.
You're gonna allow that?
No, tell me what's gonna happen.
That thing.
You'll find out. It's much more fun to make it a surprise.
You can't deny it. It's
So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do field day.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned,
Mallory,
I have no connection over that.
you can't deny a detention. You can't just be like,
For
I'm not gonna do
Exactly.
it.
You're probably gonna have it if you don't do it the rest of the year. You're probably gonna have it next year. It's gonna make you
Well-
every class make you do it next year.
All right, so let's go to that. So how I run things. So what's going to happen is tomorrow you have detention during lunch. I know who your fourth period teacher is, so I'm just going to make sure your fourth period teacher brings you straight to me. And what'll happen is you just lose lunch every day until next Thursday, until you get the detention done. So starting tomorrow, every day you're still in the hallway, but you're also going to lose lunch where you have to sit at the little special desk, and you'll have that every day. If that doesn't help you, there's only so much I can do to make you a better person. At some point, you make the choice. So if you want to spend the rest of the school year in the hallway and having lunch at that desk, that's fine. That becomes your choice, and I'm fine leaving it there. My goal and my hope is that at some point you would rather not do that, but that's a choice you have to make. That's how life works. You have to make the choice.
So, for me not to be in the hallway anymore, I have to do my Simpson sheet.
Yeah.
You've
And
had
that's
it
it.
for like
No,
Yes.
frick. I don't have to do the tardy thing.
I don't mind doing
No,
that.
I'm just going to email your mom to solve that problem.
Oh, okay.
So,
her dad.
you heard
I'm going to email.
No, don't email my dad.
Well-
I literally dropped out of school.
Okay, well, we'll miss
Yeah,
you.
you heard that.
That's how it works.
Her dad takes your phone.
She
So-
won't have that phone.
Because part of it is like interacting with Mallory here is
Special.
she says that not wrong, but she says that there are repercussions, but there is no change to behavior. I try to set up my class where human nature is you will not stop doing a wrong thing until there is negative pressure applied to you. And once negative pressure, something that makes you unhappy, makes you change that behavior. There is nothing negative being applied to her, so for her, there's no reason to change that behavior. So you have to keep finding ways to help bump someone in that direction.
That's kind of what I was trying to
Yeah.
say.
And for some of you guys, it's as simple as standing is the negative. For others of you, it's the thought of losing B points. For others of you, getting a detention and getting a referral is not enough. It just depends on where you find that. Yanti.
Can I stand for the rest of the class?
That's fine. Just move back to the back area.
Standing is crazy. You do find options.
And part of it is legit. That's why standing isn't always a punishment. I've learned, especially kids who have things like ADHD, sitting down all day, it's exhausting. I absolutely understand that. And so sometimes just being able to stand up and wiggle like that, I completely understand. You can keep wiggling. It's just that being able to do it while not distracting others becomes that balance of learning how to do things. Jehovah.
Alright, so I have a younger brother AJ, he's coming next year. If you have him, he's kind of worse than Justice.
Okay.
Like not behavior wise, but he had like bad ADHD and he can't like sit down for like, so it's gonna, Justice can sit down but he can stop talking.
Correct.
He's like the same.
That same. And I've dealt with that forever. And it's the same thing with Juju. Like, I let Juju get away with a lot of stuff I don't let other kids do because I know he's trying and his ability to contain that is not as strong as other people's. And so it'll be the same thing like when AJ comes through. If he's in my class, I learn to adapt to how kids work. And so I'll just learn to adapt to him also. It's all good. Ari.
I would say I also have very severe ADHD, but it's not with the whittling thing. It's with the remembering and focus. And it takes me so much effort just to like get up and like start working on something. And you actually have caused me to do that, so
I'll take that as a small win. And part of it is if you don't always have medication that works or that balances it right, so I try to help you guys get life skills to learn how to offset it. That's what I had to do with my own kids, is learning how to learn to live with a disability. It's like if you have diabetes, you can't just give up and go, I eat sugar all the time. You learn to balance your life around it. And so ADHD is sort of like diabetes of the brain, where you either have medicine that helps, and then you learn to work around it. Yeah.
The stupid ADHD medicine is on like a severe backup and there's no medicine and like a 20-mile radius.
Yeah.
I will get mine till the end of school.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're ADHD?
I have a bunch of stuff going on. I'm not even gonna lie.
Sounds like a
She means that in the best way.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
so, that's what I figured. And I would much rather a kid speak up and say, can I stand? As opposed to like staying in a chair and being distracting. And so that's why I'm like, just speak up and be honest. And that bothers me when teachers don't respect that. And be like, not every kid is the same.
Half of my teachers won't let me stand and it makes me so
I
mad.
can imagine it would. I would feel the same way.
Mr. Modulin hates me.
Oh, get a hate about modulin.
It's crazy. How do you hate
I don't
my
like
mom?
Modulin anyway.
Oh!
I have a lot of
Modulin's
very
tough.
fun stuff.
Modulin
What?
is scary. I'm sending
Bro,
this to
he's-
Modulin, the
Oh, I ain't even gonna say this on camera. I ain't gonna talk. Modulin,
Oh, yeah,
I
but
love
send it
you.
to
I ain't gonna
Belly.
lie. I love Mr. Modulin.
Modulin's tough.
on camera.
You was just talking about
Wesley.
Bro, he's my favorite coach in the the school.
I just
My
have to
favorite
say this
teacher.
because I thought it was hilarious.
We know you.
So,
Answer my question.
my old bus driver, she was real,
Oh wait, no.
real mean old lady.
Mhm.
She was like the one you would see in cartoons. It was terrifying. So, she was real strict. And
Get the class trivia.
there was this kid on the bus that had severe anxiety of car
She
rides.
has a question.
Really severe. And then, so
Why's your
she
mom?
was talking about like maybe not taking such sharp turns. And then she said, I have a phobia of car rides. I kid you not. The bus driver really said, I'm gonna need a doctor's degree for that.
Adults are
You can't
fun.
get that. That's not real. You can't.
No, I agree. Yes, hallway child?
So I'm gonna get an office referral.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Say yes. Just say yes.
You're getting everything.
Did you not realize we've been talking about you?
Yeah.
Mr. Brovicast, you should go on a negative point.
You've been outside for a year.
So here's the way it works. To give you an honest opinion to it, is there is an office referral we give for what's called insubordination. Insubordination is when a teacher tells you to do a thing and you don't do it, then we can escalate that up to the next level, which is office referral. So then if I give you detention and you just spend time not doing it, or Simpson sheet and you don't do it, that's considered insubordination, where you refuse to do a direction a teacher has given you. So is it a thing I can do? Yes. Do I want to? No.
Yes.
I'd much rather you choose the right path, but I might need to bump up to the next level to help you do that. I'll tell you now, so you're prepared. I'm emailing both parents tonight to sort of help them out. Because that's why I'm telling you now to be prepared. So, because whatever we're doing is not working. So I'm doing it to help you get to the next step.
Are you crying? Oh,
So,
that makeup better come on.
Is she crying?
no, she's just got an open mouth stare at me as I'm trying to be helpful in some way.
need to know.
Keep your belt, bro. Keep your belt.
You should have
Kill me.
Please like and
Bye,
subscribe to our YouTube
Bye.
channel.